Oh, hi, Nicole. Nice to see you. If the other people could switch on the video, that would be beautiful for me. So I will give a face to your names, but if you cannot, fine too. So, oh, Tiziana, con te. Welcome. Welcome, Claudia, Cristina, Barbara, everyone. I see many Italian names. Hi, Darina. So I'm very happy that there's so many Italians. So tonight, our talk will focus on the summer solstice. So I introduce myself first. So my name is Gura Lotto, and I've been living in Damanhur for almost 25 years. And well, my field of research is alchemy. Excuse me a second, because Clupea, are you translating? Okay. My field of research is alchemy, so transformational inner processes. Well, I'm investigating and researching in this field since I arrived in Damanhur. And tonight, well, I'm going to exchange with you some information from an alchemical perspective about the transformative energies of the summer solstice as we are very close to it. Everybody can hear me, also the Italian people, yes. Okay, perfect. So I would love, well, to have an exchange with you. So do not allow me to talk all the time. Please intervene, ask questions, share considerations. So feel free. Let's make it active, this moment together. Okay. Very happy to be here. Ah, there's also Nishama. Wow. Very happy to see you all. So I suppose we have also many different countries, except, well, beside Italians, if you could write on the chat, the places where you are from, or the cities in Italy from where you are listening to this webinar. So we have Belgrade, Bulgaria, Rome, Germany, Israel, Ravenna, Italy. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Holland, Israel. Wow, Norway. So many. Beautiful. Boulder, Colorado, Costa Rica, Pisa. Wow, 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 wow. Bene, Spain. Very glad that you're all here. Because tonight I want to share not only information, so the esoteric information connected to these important moments of the year, solstices and equinoxes. But I would like to share with you how you can better tune to the energies of the solstice. I ask you please to close your microphones. Carlo? Sorry, guys. Ecco, perfect. So, unless Dari, buonasera. So unless you have to talk, I mean, to ask or to share something, keep your microphones closed, please. Okay, let's start. So, well, the origin of, solstices celebrations go far back in time. Many ancient civilizations have celebrated these moments, these rituals since ever. And in Damanhur, well, we started celebrating, actually, our celebrations of the greatest moments of the year, which corresponds to equinoxes and solstices, started in 1978 in Damanhur, when for the very first time we celebrated the summer solstice here, and at the same time, a group of founders of Damanhur celebrated the winter solstice in Cuzco, Peru. That was the very beginning of, at least for Damanhurians, the very beginning of the celebrations of these moments. And since then, in Damanhur, let's say that these great, we call them great rituals. So, rituals connected to the cycles of nature are considered here the most important moments. And since then, so since 1978, they have marked our path, our spiritual growth by synchronizing it to the vital cycles of the planet and the universe. So, this is a very important concept because these moments of the year, they enable humans, okay, to reconnect, to connect at a deeper level with energies, with the cycles of nature here on the planet Earth, as well as greatest cycles of the universe. And if you think of many traditions, the sun and the sun rhythm um, has been always identified with, let's say, the growing of light, not only astronomically speaking, physically speaking, but also as, spiritually, as the source of every vital transformation. So it's very important to celebrate these moments because um, in these moments we honor, the passages of life, well, of our life on this planet in connection with everything. So our passages are basically birth, transformation during our lifetime, death, and the restart of life again on this planet. So these alternation of cycles of passages are also the crucial moments in our human life of transformation. They are very, very fundamental. And this happens, during, specifically, I'm talking about summer solstice tonight. And specifically during this moment, as there is a precise astronomical alignment, it becomes easier to connect also to, other species rhythms, lives, not only here on the planet, so species, yes, animal and plant worlds to start with here on the earth, but also to connect to other forms of life in different dimensions, living in different planets. So in this moment, during the summer solstice, let's say that the um, the dimensions material and spiritual comes closer. So meaning that there's let's say the layer that divide the two become thinner. Okay. And for us is a great opportunity to renew ourselves, our energy, and this is done consciously, possibly, to reconnect to all living beings. And to reconnect to the spiritual fabric of the entire universe. So according not only to Damanhurians, but also to many other traditions, to celebrate, the summer solstice is a ritual important moment to maintain alive, so to keep, to nourish, to maintain alive this connection among life all over. Also to establish alliances, to densify, let's say, alliances to not only forces, but all living beings that are supporting, evolution in our world, in our planet, but also in many other different worlds. Feel free to stop me if you want to ask questions or if you want to share something, okay? Astronomically speaking, the summer solstice occurs when basically one of the Earth's pole, the North Pole, so in June, reaches its maximum inclination towards the sun. And this actually happens once a year. It happens June 2021 in the Northern Hemisphere. I ask you, sorry, I can read, Nishama, your question, but if you could help me by just opening your microphone and do it through your voice, that would be great.
Okay.
Because, yes, thank you.
With pleasure.
Welcome here.
Voilà. So what you said was really interesting, that there's an opportunity to connect with other dimensions. Alliances, is it like a thinner veil that occurs during summer solstice?
Di Genova e anche altri miei amici genovesi che abitavano a Genova. Allora,
Interferences.
ho chiesto
Please,
all'inizio di
I
tutta
ask you
questa
to switch
esperienza,
off your microphone.
la prima cosa che è successa
Rupea, tu puoi spegnerglieli? Ok. Okay, so yes, exactly what you said. This is what happens during summer solstice. So the veil becomes thinner and the connection, it's easier. Absolutely. And this happens, well, during the summer solstice, this happens among dimensions, among worlds, among planets. And I will tell you in a while why. But this happens also for another important moment, which is the commemoration of the dead, the 1st of November, when the veil among the physical dimension and what we call the threshold, the dimension where all human experiences are stored and they're not supported anymore by forms, by matter, it becomes thinner. So that's why that celebration is, let's say, a portal to enter in contact with disincarnated beings, basically. to access human memories. And this happens, also during the summer solstice. Astronomically, the summer solstice, that very day, is the longest day of the year, okay? And the sun reaches its highest point in the sky at noon. And after this day, right after, the days begin to shorten. So leading gradually to the autumn equinox and winter solstice. And this creates a very, let's say, a very unique moment, okay? Because there's on one side, the maximum peak of light, okay? And at the same time, okay, right after, the light begins to shorten. So it puts together basically the two aspects of polarities. On one side, the sun connected to consciousness. On the other side, the moon connected to unconsciousness. So, and the two polarities merge together. But we will go deeper into it. And the effects, the physical effects of light, of the sun, of the changes, of light and heat, influence, life here, influence plant growth, influence animal behavior, influence weather patterns, influence us too. And if you think that in many different ancient traditions, monumental structures were built to celebrate, aligned, in alignment with these specific moments of the year, also summer solstices, like, for example, Stonehenge, which is one of the most famous sites on the planet, where these ceremonies are still performed thanks to the alignment that has the site, all the standing stones there, Newgrange in Ireland, and also many Egyptian temples are aligned to to the solstice sunrise or sunset. But esoterically speaking, the summer solstice is seen as the culmination of the solar force. So is the culmination of light, is the culmination of expansion, of the power of the creative fire. Okay. And sun is, esoterically speaking, connected to consciousness reaching its apex, its zenith, shining fully, into the kingdom of matter. So, and for this reason is a very, very important moment for us. Well, it has been throughout the ages for many humans. Let's say that in the last 1,000 years, these moments are not celebrated widely, but still, there's still, people, tribes, shamans, druids, Celts, pagans, many people that are still celebrating solstices and equinoxes. So, and in the Damanhurian tradition, well, the sun represents the solar principle, And the solar principle for us is connected to all cosmic forces that are supporting human evolution. So it represents, the central spiritual fire of our universe, is the source of life, is the greatest intelligence that I've created. Also, our universe is it gives the rhythm. I mean, is like a heartbeat. I mean, so the solstice is the summer solstice is the moment when the veil that we were talking about between spiritual and physical worlds thins. And this creates it creates like a cosmic breath, because the two comes together as a whole. And while while during this very day the sun marks a peak, it's also the beginning of a sort of decline. So the light will from then on slowly decrease. So the solstice holds two very important energies simultaneously. So on one side, the celebration of light, of life, of abundance, of creativity, of consciousness. And on the other side, the beginning of those aspects that brings us more to introspection, inspiration, um, I mean, um, the return to our um, inner parts, the most unconscious to us. So feminine and masculine, consciousness and unconsciousness. And this paradox, because it's a paradox, I mean, um, is when, alchemically speaking, it represents, the union. I mean, it represents the fire of transformation that contains both aspects, because both are part of us. So in Damanhur, as well, in many other traditions, the summer solstice is a key moment also for contact with what we call spirits of nature. So these subtle energies that are inhabiting nature, elementals, let's call them, I don't know, subtle beings. So these beings that are inhabiting unpolluted places that from according to our experiences and our traditions, these beings are sentient beings that we need to honor, to respect, in order to maintain an harmony among, the use we do of nature to nourish ourselves, to grow food. And at the same time to respect their land. So during the summer solstice, also these beings, the contact with nature spirits is crucial, because they are also an allied species, allied to human evolution, supporting, our spiritual growth. And let's say that what happens in this very moment of the year is, and it happens during this celebration ritual that we perform, is a portal, but is a ritual way to communicate. Okay. It's a way, the ritual itself is a communication tool, okay, instrument to be understood, let's say, by other beings not supported in the world of matter, and not, I mean, supported by forms. So, and in this very moment, there is another species that play a fundamental role, which is the plant kingdom. Because trees, during the summer solstice, they act, so they activate as antennas, sending and receiving information from the earth to the cosmos and backwards. So they act as radio stations, so sending out impulses, frequencies, information about the state of life on this planet to other worlds, other planets, other dimensions, and they receive, frequencies, information backwards from the universe to the earth. So this is why during these days, at least here in Damanhur, but this is also an invitation that I do. We do not pick any fruits from trees, so we do not harvest, fruits, especially from trees. Well, in that very day, the 21st of June, from no plants we harvest or we pick fruits, because they are in their maximum peak of activity, as radios. So not to interfere, we just leave them, for that day. We do not eat the fruits from the trees, from plants. How this is possible? I mean, this transmission. Any idea? I know that you know. But this happens, so these transmissions of information happens because of the synchronic lines. So maybe not everyone have heard about synchronic lines, but in Damanhur we think that these energy rivers that are wrapping our planet, sorry, while I'm talking, I'm also reading the questions, so I get distracted. I will answer you soon. So, our planet is wrapped with, synchronic lines. There's many main synchronic lines and also many minor lines. But synchronic lines, these rivers of energy, basically they connect to the poles. And from the poles, they connect to the sun before spreading all over the universe and connecting the planet to different planets of the universe. Synchronic lines basically are the nervous system, of the universe, through which there's a constant exchange of information, but let's say that the maximum activeness happens during the summer solstice. So in Damanhur, we celebrate these moments. I mean, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, the two equinoxes, spring and autumn, and the commemoration of that as the most and sacred occasions, the most sacred moments when life aligns with the cycles of the earth and of the universe. And actually, these ceremonies are open to anyone who wants to come physically here or to go in the many different parts of the planet where we build these specific areas. So these ceremonies are performed inside circles, huge circles made of stones that for these occasions are specifically charged, with specific instruments to become, portals. So we celebrate these moments here in Damanhur, Italy, as well as Boulder, Colorado, as well as Japan, Australia, Norway, in the many different parts of the planet where we built these ritual circles. That's how we call these areas. And let's say that these rituals offer to us, to humans, the chance, the opportunity to direct, to orient to direct and orient your inner growth, your spiritual journey in resonance with all forces that are active in that moment. And this is, alchemically speaking, is important because from the Damanhurian perspective, if you do not establish a connection among the physical dimension and what we call the spiritual dimension, made of forces, energies, spirits, subtle, frequencies, you're not fully connected, because life here and elsewhere is a matter of connectedness, is a matter of being, connected to wider cycles, to wider rhythms. So this is why in many traditions, these moments are basically expressed through a ritual, through a ceremony, because ceremonies are ancient technologies, let's say, to open doors, gates, to recreate these connections. And these ceremonies have nothing to do with, something that you might conceive as religious, because we do not worship anything. We just, offer our awareness, our conquests, spiritual growth to higher forces, to receive back, energy to support this process, to keep going at the same rhythm, synchronized. These moments, equinoxes and solstices, are connected to the different elements. I don't know if you know it, but you see the elements, so air, water, fire, and earth, and ether, which are the primeval energies that actually have created the universe, and when they entered in the universe of matter, they became they materialize, okay, but they hold, each element hold this primeval energy that comes from the source, from, let's say, that greater consciousness that have created everything. So each equinox and each solstice is connected to one of the elements. So is the celebration also of, the rhythm, let's say, the elements that are present and that they create everything here. I mean, every object, every living being is made of a unique percentage of elements. So the autumn equinox is connected to the element air. The commemoration of the dead is connected to the element earth. The winter solstice is fire. The spring equinox is ether. The summer solstice is connected to water. Water is the element connected to the preservation of memories, of knowledges, of the unconscious, the feminine, okay, that in connection with the sun, which represents the masculine consciousness, okay, creates a balance. Is always a matter of rhythm and balances, okay. And according to our tradition and to our main, let's say, founder, Falco, the solstice, the summer solstice, is a point, is, let's say, the true point of convergence among spiritual and physical. So he was describing it as a beat, is the beat, the heartbeat, okay, of the earth, because in that very moment the earth sent through trees and through synchronic lines the state of life on the planet. So that's why the connection with the heartbeat of our planet, okay. And these beats that are sent out there into the cosmos are the frequencies of reconnection with memories belonging to the planet, to ancient people of the planet, but also beings living beyond it. So these beats during the solstice spread across, different parts of the universe. And this enables these frequencies actually to be recognized by light, by the sun, by this higher harmony. So the solstice is the time for collective and personal realignment, is the time to synchronize ourselves with the deep breath and beat of the planet and of the universe. Is the time to tune, our inner rhythm, so our frequency, the inner rhythm of our spiritual growth with other living beings, with the stars, with the invisible, with the unconscious. And that day, the 21st of June, is an exceptional date because let's say that the sun at its peak is the first, let's say, great station of the synchronic lines, because they all gather there, okay? And they start emitting, generating, transmitting vital information to maintain everything in balance. So imagine the solstice, the summer solstice, as the heart of our earth pulsing, emitting waves that travel through the lines and spread, information all over. And this energy is exchanged with other worlds. It's not only a matter of transmitting and receiving, but is an exchanged energy for other worlds and civilizations, to send back a greater communication, cosmic communication. Someone, I forgot to answer. Someone was asking if we like fruits. I mean, not picking fruits. If we also do not cut grass. No, we do cut grass. Um, is only, that very day we do not pick only fruits from trees. Guralotto, mi hai fatto piacere vederti. Ah, okay, no worries. If you have to go, go. Thank you for being here. The sun is, as I said, the great station where synchronic lines meet, and is a reflection point that sends impulses. And these connection during, this transmission becomes very amplified. So it's very important for those who want to be prepared, for that moment, for that day, to be aware and conscious of this. Because the more you are aware and the more you can actively participate and tune in these frequencies. There is another important, yes. Come possiamo prepararci al meglio in questo momento? Yes. Tiziana, I'm gonna tell you in a moment this. And Bas, were you just about to talk? Yes, please.
Yes, I was. I have a question that's more
Yes.
pointed to the ritual that happens during the solstice.
Mhm.
I still have a branch of Artemisia, I think, that I took with me from the last ritual last year.
Yes,
And I was thinking, well, I wanted to ask you if it's a good idea to, in a sense, ritually burn it on the 21st again.
that's a beautiful idea. If you're not coming here, you can do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, during the summer solstice, we prepare some artemisia. Prepare, it means that the artemisia has a specific preparation on the fire we light during the ritual. So during the summer solstice, we lit two fires. a fire that symbolizes the sun, which is at the center of the ritual circle where we perform the ceremony, and the fire which symbolizes the moon. And the Artemisia, sorry, I don't know the English for it. I think is understandable. Artemisia
I know
is a
what it
plant.
is.
Nishama, do you know the English for it?
You're saying it correctly. It's
Ah,
Artemisia.
okay, Artemisia. So we gift, after the ritual, all participants with this branch of Artemisia to propitiate, the coming season. And actually, at the summer solstice, what we do is to burn the branch and the crowns, because we create also a sort of crowns made of branches of Artemisia that we wear on our head. Well, during the summer solstice ritual, we burn the ones of the previous year. So to give thanks for the experiences we've gone through, and to propitiate, the coming season, the coming experiences.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Hmm.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna burn it on the 21st then. That sounds like a good idea.
See,
And I can't be there for this summer solstice, but maybe the equinox. Who knows?
we're looking forward to see you here again. So is the solstice, so let's enter more in the practicality of how to prepare well for this moment, because actually this is the alchemical approach, because alchemy, so transformation, is something that need to happen practically within ourselves by using any experience, any tool, any moment creatively to do so. So the solstice, the summer solstice, is like an energy field of acceleration. It is, because it's like as if there's a greater time density. And I want to explain you this, even though it's pretty complicated. Time density, it means that, these ceremonies that have been, celebrated for so many millennia, they have condensed all together a memory which is a memory belonging to all humankind, and is a very emotional memory, because it's connected to human evolution, light, in connection to cosmic forces. So these memories, these human experiences condensed by the celebration of these rituals, make these moments, let's say, more dense. Okay, is like they are like times compressed, and there's a higher spiritual density. Am I understandable? Yes. So that's why I'm saying there is a field of acceleration, because the condensation of memories, emotions, and time spaces in which many cultures, many people have celebrated these moments, create a more dense field of energy that can be used by us to transform. How? So, well, to make, for example, important decisions. So you might accelerate, if you start preparing to these days. So I'm not talking about only the 21st of June, but the days before, a few days before. If you start, taking some time meditating on your experiences, the experiences you've done in the last 3 months, so from the spring equinox to the summer solstice, you make clarity, okay? You reflect on them. In those days, specific days, you might be able to take important decisions. So maybe decisions that you haven't taken before, or I don't know, that you didn't have the energy, to move forward. So it's an occasion full of energy, of density, to take decisions, to take directions. So to step, to move forward at a different speed. You might be impressed, if you take these moments, in those days, to reflect on your life and to direct your energies, in the direction you choose. You might be impressed how synchronicity will work for you, because there's a higher intensity in those days. And you will have also the support of all beings, all energies connecting in this moment, aligned with light, with spiritual growth. You might also receive in those days intuitions, inspirations, new comprehensions. So the invitation is, to be very reflective. So to stay connected to yourself, to explore within, and to be open at the same time, to receive, because the communication intensify in these moments, in these days. So the summer solstice supports the progression of your spiritual process, of your spiritual maturity. And it makes you, let's say it creates a clearer field for you to see the directions, to see steps that you need to take, to notice openings, new scenarios for your life. So very, very important. In Damanhur, we do prepare. So not only for the ceremony itself, but as in many different traditions, the preparation might be also to do, for example, to offer some work, some devotional hour to nature, for example, that is very active in that moment, to contact nature. You could, for example, well, here in Damanhur, we avoid, for instance, to drink coffee, to drink tea, to drink, stimulants, chocolate. So we tend, to clean our body, by having a specific diet, eating, like twice a day and not more than that, drinking a specific amount of water, prepare ourselves for the ceremony with a ritual bath, actually a physical bath, with water, and this is pretty alchemical, with water that is put in our own frequency. So to cleanse symbolically, through water, which is the element connected to this moment, from unwanted or negative frequencies, is also preparation, is also, not to nourish negative thoughts. To express at your fullest, positive feelings, emotions, thoughts, because that supports life all over. So to be positive, to be optimistic, to be creative. So also those are days where you can do many creative activities, following, giving birth to your fantasy, to your imagination, do creative things to tune better with these specific energies. So there's many possible ways, to prepare well for these moments. And so all these things that I'm telling you, those are invitations for you to experience these days differently if you've never done this. Okay. And the solstice, the summer solstice, is also a way to synchronize our body with the natural rhythms. Is like is the moment where our body restart its inner natural clock. So every part of our body, every organ, okay, the physical part of us, but also energetically synchronize with the frequencies of the cosmos. And this is fundamental in a spiritual process. So is a way to connect to archetypal frequencies, that belongs to the collective mind of humanity. The preparation could also be to, to connect deeper to trees. So do not harvest them that very day, but, to meditate under, to do, for example, your own meditation under a tree, introducing yourself to the tree, asking permission to do the meditation close by, and, like as if the tree could be a friend of yours, to start exchanging your life, your emotions, your experiences. So try in your own way to communicate, as they are very active in these days. There's also another important topic connected to the summer solstice, which is pretty hard to be explained simply, but I will try. In the beginning, I was saying that, the solstices and equinoxes are connected to the passages of life. So birth, transformation during our lives, death. And they are also moments when what we call in Damanhur personalities, so human memories that are stored in the threshold, in that dimension, not supported by space, time, by matter, where all human memories are stored. So where souls, okay, are passing through to incarnate, okay, on Earth during the summer solstice. I mean, this very moment, esoterically speaking, is the moment when souls leave the planet and souls enters the planet. And in that very dimension where human memories are stored, souls that, from our perspective, from the Damanhurian perspective, souls are pieces of absolute intelligence. They are pieces of the greater consciousness that have created the universe, passing through that dimension, catalyzes, attracts essences of memories of different lives souls had to incarnate, to be brought here. Let's say that in our concept of, well, you've understood for the newcomers, for the new people attending this webinar. So you understand from this concept that we do believe in reincarnation. So the souls that are called attractors in Damanhur, so pieces of absolute intelligence, they attract, specific other lives, memories. They gather, okay, specific essences of lives to have a new journey here together. So the summer solstice is the moment when there is, the maximum activity of souls coming and going. So, and these practically can be used positively, creatively by us, to also observe within us the many parts we contains, the many aspects, characteristics, talents we have. But I don't, unless there's questions about this, I wouldn't go deeper. Let's say that our soul is a collective soul in our Damanhurian perception and perspective. So we are not one person. We are, different, let's say, life essences gathered by the soul, our body host, okay, that enable us to make the most of our life, that enable us to express in every and each life the maximum potential through their characteristics, talents, skills. But we normally do not know them. So these days, when there's such an activity of pieces of consciousnesses incarnating, disincarnating, and gathering memories in this dimension, could be a moment to observe better, okay, and to notice more clearly the many different parts we have within to make them work better. So is a moment of extreme energy, an acceleration moment, is a renewal moment, is a moment when you can where you can receive visions also about your future possibilities, your future directions. So is a peak of luminous spiritual energy. It's hope, is continuity, is a way of honoring our life on this planet, and at the same time honoring all life all over the universe. So it has a very deep, spiritual meaning, this moment of the year, internally and externally. It is a moment also of healing energetically. So it's a powerful moment to recharge. But in order to be able to recharge yourself of energy, you need to manifest, to be prepared, at your maximum. Because if you, manifest yourself depressed with many negative thoughts, probably you won't be able to synchronize with these energies. And on the opposite side, if you are prepared, luminous, um, uh, creative, with, positive thoughts, that energy, the cosmic energies, will respond to this by amplifying as you are vibrating in a similar frequency. Similar frequencies respond and amplifies to similar frequencies. This is an alchemical principle. This is why it's very, very important and profound to prepare yourself at best for this day or days. Questions, considerations, curiosities? If you do not have, or do you? Don't be shy. If you want to ask something, just do it. You open your microphone and you ask any question and you express anything you want. Mm.
Well,
Yes,
can you hear me?
of course.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I'm from the north of Germany and I've been to Damanhur several times, but it's a long time ago. It's 20 years ago it started.
Wow. Wow.
And recently I got into contact. I just remembered, hey, Damanhur. So, well, that's a long story. So now, by listening to you, I'm very inspired to do a kind of fire and ritual with this coming solstice here where I am. But I don't know. There is not a real tradition. And so I'm not sure whether that's a brilliant idea because people will just sit there and have their beer, maybe. So I don't know. What do you think about it?
Well, I think that if you look for, friends of yours or people that might be interested in doing it properly, you could involve them in this tiny ceremony that you would like to perform. Actually, you remind me an important thing that I wanted to tell you. When you celebrate, if your intention is to celebrate in any way this moment, it's very important to do it maybe at least 3 people, a small group.
Yeah.
Because, when you are within a group, you are able to create a bigger energy field and tap into wider energy fields. So if you know, okay, a friend or someone that you think that is sensitive enough, or to understand such a thing, such a celebration, you could for sure to lit a fire, a small fire, and to offer your conquests. This is very important because from our perspective, ceremonies are not moments where we praise someone or something. It's not a worship ceremony. It's a ceremony of awareness where we offer our human awareness, our human conscious choices, our successes, our our goals, our successful goals, spiritual goals, is an offering of awareness. Is not a prayer. Is not asking for something. Is offering awareness to be supported, in this process of awareness by other energies. So no, I think it's a good idea if you're able to involve at least 3 people. So in a group, because if then you cannot find, anyone interested, fine, do it on your own. It will be a very intimate celebration. So you can do it also individually. But the group creates a more powerful energy,
It's true.
But it's also important in these days, in this actual epoch, to start, reconnecting with these cycles, these wider cycles, also individually. So
well, we already had a new moon circle, a women's circle around the new moon, and sometimes we just found ourselves in silence, and there was not so much to be done or
perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Just do it as it feels with your women. It's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, well, I invite you to honor light within you and around you. So, in any way you possibly can. So, and it will be perfect. But I want to end, our meeting, our talks with a brief meditation. So I hope that this meditation can inspire you to prepare for the solstice, for the summer solstice, for those days. You could also repeat, on your own, this meditation also several times before the 21st of June to prepare. To prepare at best. So find a comfortable position, and if you are in a place, in a space where you are alone, is better. So you're not disturbed. You can sit or you can lay down comfortably as you prefer. You can start closing your eyes And breathe in deeply, slowly, with more awareness, following your own rhythm. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. And again, inhale light and exhale all weights. Inhale brightness and exhale whatever you don't need to prepare to a moment of culmination of your inner sun. So keep breathing, and while you breathe in and out, project yourself to the 21st of June, the summer solstice, the portal of power in which you can align yourself with the energy of manifestation, of clarity, of will, of expressed will. You are very present to yourself, very grounded, and at the same time open. So pronounce inwardly 3 times. I am here, honoring the sun, honoring light. I am ready. I am here, honoring the sun, honoring light. I am ready. Say it a 3rd time within you. Continue to breathe in light and to breathe out weights. And now bring all your attention to your heart. So concentrate all your attention to your heart chakra. And ask yourself very sincerely, what do I truly wish to create in my life right now? Enter this space, this question, and visualize what is most dear to you, what you feel most needed to better your life, and not only your life. It has to be something that can better also other people, that can be beneficial also for other people. This is what makes it alchemical, transformative. What do I truly wish to create in my life right now, beneficial also to others? And let your heart answer. Be in contact with your heart. Listen to what is saying, to the answer that is giving you. And if nothing clear still emerges, whisper to yourself, I am ready to receive. I'm ready to receive a vision, a gift, something needed for me and others to grow spiritually. So feel this intention as a warm and living seed in your heart that illuminates your inner sun that expands right now all over your chest. Watch it while it's growing and is giving you insights for your wish. Feel this sun frequency vibrating throughout your body. And now slowly reopen your eyes and be ready. Bene, my dear. I don't know if you received something, but this is a very simple and effective meditation to prepare. If you can, if you want, you can repeat it, you know. I mean, in these coming days, weeks before the summer solstice, and you can prepare, you know, that day for you and others, hopefully, I mean, with other people or coming here to celebrate this important moment. So thank you. If you have, well, we still have a few minutes if you want to ask something or share something. If not, I hope you enjoyed our hour together. This, I invite you also for the next webinars because we are going to do a series of webinars from today until September. So if you are willing to join, we'll be very happy. We will touch different topics, different alchemical topics, and you're all invited. I wish you all the best I hope to see you again, if not physically here on Zoom. And get ready for the energies of light.
Thank you. This was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Grazie, grazie a voi. Grazie,
Thank you
Clupea.
so much.
Thank you,
Grazie.
Conroy.
Con te.
Con voi.
Con voi.
A big hug and kiss to all of you.
Voi, grazie di tutto. Con voi, a presto.
Con voi.